Thank you very much. Oh, man. Man, I told you in the beginning, and I'm sure you're wondering who I was talking about. I told you that today, there's a gentleman going to come here, Nakwana, or a guy. And I'm sure you're wondering, who is this person? Well, he's in the house. You haven't seen him yet, but you saw the applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this person needs no introduction. Yes. Show some love for the man now known as Nana. Nana, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I've been trying to track it down for a year now.
That is a fact. That is a fact. But I've been busy. This has been probably the busiest year of my life.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you haven't been able to get hold of me.
Yeah.
We're going around. I've been living in the countryside this last year. But fortunately on Saturday, everything came to a conclusion. So I'm a little bit more available.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you here.
Thank you
for
having me. Thank you.
And congratulations.
Much. Thank you very much.
How does it feel, man?
Oh, it still hasn't fully sunk in yet.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, it feels good.
Yeah.
It's always good to win.
Nana, that picture, man, that picture. It's like what? Nana thinking about Ghana?
Basically, I think so. I hope so.
That pose, man.
I hope that's the way it is looked at. Somebody who's seriously contemplating what we need to do for our country and take it on.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Wonderful.
Actually, there was a picture taken of me at conference.
Okay.
I think it was in the Côte d'Ivoire, one of the peace meetings, and that picture was called. But it was it conveyed something that I wanted to put out there. Yes, the business that we're in of political leadership is not just glad handing and shaking hands and, grinning, but that it's about the lives of millions and millions of people, and what, therefore, you need to think about what you're doing. You need to reflect always very seriously at the process, because the end of it, your actions have an impact that go way beyond anything you yourself can imagine, even at the time. And it affects people in so many different ways. It's good that your posture to the world should be one of somebody reflecting, thinking, pensive, looking at things and hoping that you can find a formula that will allow people's lives to be better and all of that. That's basically the idea behind the picture.
Okay. Nana, you won. It wasn't exactly the 50+1 that you had predicted.
That I had hoped.
That you hoped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Predictions are not a good idea, but that I had hoped.
That you hoped.
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't get exactly the 50+1. What do you do from now in terms of bringing the party together? I mean,
I think some important steps were taken right there and there at the Congress. The concession of my main rival, Alan Chemating, and the words he used on the occasion, I think were important in setting the tone for the party coming together. I believe that the interventions of my colleagues, the others, were also very important in reinforcing the tradition that has grown up in our party. Fierce contest, but at the end of the day, reconciliation and unity. It's been very much part of my own theme during the campaign, that has been our tradition, and we must make sure that this time, when we have the biggest numbers of people who have ever contested for our leadership, that we make sure that that tradition is preserved, is maintained, is protected.
Okay.
And I think that we saw the beginning of that on Saturday. A lot of it is also going to depend on me, the attitudes I have, and a recognition amongst our rank and file that it's our only route to retaining power is to stay together, to stay focused, and continue the journey that we have begun since 2001 together.
Yeah. There were a lot of aspirants in there who I'm sure were hoping that they could at least cross the threshold of maybe 300, 400 votes so that they could form some power blocks in case they went into a run two. They could have some leverage. They didn't. We have 10, 9, 2, 3, 7. Now, and you had that clear lead. So they are like, well, now everything is in your hands. I mean,
to some extent.
To some extent.
But I don't look upon it as in an exclusive way because, first of all, and I think this is something that is very important that it gets out there. All of the people there, I think with the exception of one, have been colleagues and friends in a common enterprise for a very long time. You're looking at people like Yao Savumafo, Aliu Mahama, Hakman Owusu-Agyemang, Owusu-Agyepong, Kwame Addo, all of these, even to the younger ones, Kwame Agyepong, Boakye Jarko, Arthur Kennedy. We have all been involved and have made our own various contributions to this whole business of bringing Ghana away from military rule into democratic government and advancing also the particular causes of our party. The only person that I can say, frankly, I didn't know before this, though since I've got to know him, began to have a great deal of respect for, is a professor from Kolebu, from Bomboate. I didn't know him personally before. I'd heard of him like we all had heard of him in Ghana. So the rest of them, including Efadate, who didn't make it to the final race, are people I've known and worked with for a very long time. So we're not new to each other. Therefore, coming together and working together for now the common objective of winning power in 2008, I don't think it's going to be an insuperable difficult. And I think that my own responses and reflexes, attitudes are going to play a big part of it. I want everybody on board. I want as much as possible all the talents that are available at the MPP to come together for us to work together to take our party into victory in 2008.
Let me take you back to University of Ghana days, man. I've been doing some reading.
Oh, I can imagine. I have an idea of some of the stuff that's coming, but go ahead.
You belong to a group called the Pivotals. In that group was Professor Mills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, but basically, you were quite a radical group.
Yes. The younger period of my life, the early period of my life at Legon, I was very much on the left.
Yeah.
As far as Ghanaian politics was concerned.
You were CPP?
Not so much CPP as a Marxist. I considered myself a Marxist. And the CPP at a certain stage in its history came to occupy the left position in Ghanaian politics, and therefore had my sympathies. But at the university, I mean, your elder brother, who unfortunately is not here with us, was my contemporary, was a year ahead of me at Legon. And he would know, yes, very much on the left. I was a big admirer of Leon Trotsky. I believe I have the distinction of being the person who introduced the now famous Chachu Chikata to the world of Marx.
You really?
I believe so. I believe so. I remember, I think it was in my room that we read for the first time a copy of the Communist Manifesto, Marx's famous statement. But yes, very much on the left at the time. I don't regret it. I think that it helped enrich my thinking. I think anybody who has had access to the thinking and the way of looking at the world that represents Marxist thinking would recognize that it has made an important contribution to political development around the world. I'm not talking necessarily about the totalitarian aspect of it, but I'm talking about the ideas that animated what you call Marxism have been, and certainly it has helped me in my life. It has also meant that I have always been very concerned about the plight of, if you like, it's an expression I find a bit strange, but we use it, ordinary people. As if somehow or other, some people are not ordinary people. But I think you understand what I mean by that. And it has continued to be a major preoccupation of mine. I believe that the purpose of involvement in public life is about what you can do to enhance and contribute to the enhancement of the life of ordinary people. That's what it's about.